What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily. We're back for another week. Jared, it's you and I. It feels like Blinker's off.
I know. It's we don't often get the opportunity anymore to talk about sports on Blinkers Off because people get mad at us. So it's good to be on here with just you and I. I don't know where the other guys are, but I'm glad it's just you and Nate.
I think Somich is I think it's golf tournament week, so I think he's out all week. So we can make fun of him all week, and he'll never know or care. So I think that's a good start, right? So yeah, Papa Dude, I think he's still driving, and Magic. I don't know. It's just questionable for Magic every week. I think
Magic is a game time decision. I feel like each and every day. You don't know.
Yeah, for not only this show but for life in general.
This is true.
So you just never really know on him. Well, I guess we could get into it here. Do you want to go first, Jared? Do you want your best bet first?
Why not? Right? It's such a good pick. You might as well.
Yes.
You might as well. Ahead. I mean, I've been red hot on this show, and unfortunately, I looked over Saratoga. I don't know if you got this feeling. Based off of your top play as well, maybe you did. Saratoga just looks like it's one of the rougher days so far of the meet. I think, a lot of claiming races. Not much, no stakes action other than the hurdles. So it's like, I don't know. I just didn't have really a great feel for any of those races today at Saratoga. So when all else fails, I go to baseball, right? and again, I don't know about you on this one, but the matchups are tough. And a lot of the ones that I liked, they are, they're too heavy favorites. You just can't, I think there's plenty. I think, in this case, so I went with the Angels Athletics game, and I think the Angels are clear. I mean, they're minus 240 clear favorite, but how about going the under 7 runs in this game, which I believe is like minus 115 is the last time I looked. You look, these are not two good teams. The Angels and the Athletics are not great, but who is great? The guy pitching who can do everything. Ohtani. I mean, this guy has been the bright spot of the Angels all season long. I mean, he carries the team when he's pitching. He pitches at a 2.81 ERA. He's 9-6 on the season. The Athletics just aren't very good. The Angels won the other night with the low scoring game. They don't have a lot of run support that they do. So I do feel like this is going to be a low scoring game. Ohtani goes deep in the game, like a 4-1, 5-2, hopefully not 5-2, 4-2. I guess we could push on the 5-2, but still, I just don't see this game going over 7. So you're getting the minus 115. That was my best play of the day. That game goes off at 8:38 p.m.
All right. So Angels Athletics under the 7 runs there. We'll see if we can get a low scoring game on a boring game. It's going to be boring with the Athletics and the Angels. So let's just stick with the low scoring comment on that and not the boring.
It's low. And the best part about that is it's low. It's going to be a low. I'm hoping it's a low scoring game. I'm not going to watch it. It's, because who gives a shit, right? So I'll just check it every once in a while. I'll do the Papa Dude strategy where I just check it every once in a while and just make sure that score is staying low. And hopefully we can get one home here.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on that. I always get burned on these run rule or the over-unders on the baseball. I get burned on baseball a lot though. So I get on there and it's like, all right, I can't lose, and then I lose. So Well,
didn't you get a feel like, I don't know if you looked over the baseball games closely, but there were a lot of, I want to call it uneven matchups. And even, what was it yesterday? There was, I can't remember which game it was. It was like the biggest spread upset of the year so far. And it's like, it kind of feels like at least one of these games is going to do that, where you're just going to be totally off on it. So I'm nervous. If you're playing parlays, I'm sure a lot of you guys would or will, given that there's some strong favorites. You play a couple of those, but it's just got to be careful with those. On the ones, like you said, that just seem like there's no way they can lose kind of games.
There's a lot of those for sure. And hey, if you want our baseball picks, you can go over to the site, click on other sports, and then click on the MLB picks. And yeah, you've got the whole slate. You're right. It is a ton of Yeah, just lopsided matchups. It's kind of that's the series that we're seeing right now, and so that's kind of how it goes. On that note, let's put a Papa Dude's best bet here. He's not with us, but he does have the Phillies plus 120. So here's an upset, right? This is one, you were talking about. I got the Braves, I didn't pick the Braves because the line isn't there for to pick him for the show. But he's taking the Phillies. He thinks there's going to be an upset today. He likes the pitching matchup. He likes the Phillies overall. He thinks they're a little bit better than what the record even indicates. So he went with the Phillies plus 120. You mentioned you were kind of looking at some games. Was this one you took a look at all?
Honestly, this is one I almost pulled the trigger on for an upset as well. I think, and probably the same reason he did, that Wheeler has been very good. He's 9-5. He's got a great ERA. So the pitching matchup is kind of favoring the Phillies, and they're not a bad team at all. You're getting them away as well. So, you're going to have, I get it. I don't think the Braves are minus 140 good. And so, that's definitely one, because, you obviously, I was trying to pick my spots. That was one I looked at pretty closely. So we'll see how if that backfires on me. Although Papa Dude has not been super hot with the baseball picks. He's been getting burned. So maybe it's good that I'm not on that pick.
He was really pissed last week. He had been doing really good, and then last week he sucked. And then the start of this week so far for the regular picks, he has not been good either. So we'll see. He's very upset. And if you know Papa Dude, when he gets upset, it's better to just stay away from him. So he's not happy. No, not at all. All right, let's go to the horse racing now. Let's go to Somich's best bet. He phones in today and he says, I'm going Saratoga race 3. He's going to go, he didn't even write down the name of the horse. So Saratoga race 3, race 7. He likes the number 3, 9-5 on the morning line. He says, IRAD rides through the claim for a lesser barred. 1 mile configuration at Toga should fit this one well. He's 1 for 1 over the Saratoga dirt and has tactile speed to sit second and get first run on the cheap speed should be out in front of him. So Saratoga race 7, number 3. Did you look? You said you kind of looked through that Saratoga card a little bit. I couldn't find anybody for this show as well. I do like the 3. What did you think here of this horse?
Yeah, Tiergan, or what is the name of this horse? I think that it's logical for sure, but it's one of those races. It's a 6-horse field. 5 of them are under, 6-1 or under. It just seems like it's one of those races that, Blewett's in there that everyone knows and likes, and Vintage Hollywood, and you've got Saez on on the troubleshooter. Like there's it just feels like one of those races at Saratoga that the 3 could maybe get second, and just don't have enough confidence in that race at all. Again, like I said, I tend to be a better handicapper and feel stronger in my opinions on stakes type races, high level allowance races, even high level main special weights. Sometimes those are kind of where I feel best. And even though this is it's an allowance race, this isn't like, these aren't the greatest of horses in this race, right? It's a New York bred allowance race. And so I just don't have a good feel for it. And that's ultimately why I couldn't play it.
I think you showed that last week. We all kind of liked Artorias in the Curlin, but none of us made him the best bet. But you did, because you like said, stakes races, that's what you like to handicap. It's far from it today. Every race at Saratoga today, you look at it and go, well, that could be a trap. That could be a trap. That could be a trap. And so it was hard to find somebody to go short on. I think if you were going to pick one, this is a pretty good one. I think I'm like too deep in this spot. I did use Blewett, like you said, as well. Horse that's dropping down in class, has been up against Stakes Company before. But you're right. It's like, Saez is on troubleshooter, and that horse could jump up and beat you. So it's kind of every race. There's some landmines, so to speak, for spots where you might try to go short. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. All right. Like you said, I didn't see a whole lot, and so I went to Horseshoe, Indianapolis today. For mine. The last time I did this, I was second by a nose and was really pissed, but we'll try this again. I'm going to go race 4 today at Horseshoe Indy. I'm going to go with the number 5 horse, Senora Roma. This horse shipping into Horseshoe Indianapolis after winning for Ravelli at Hawthorne in a similar sprint race allowance on the turf. I just think the horse gets out to the front like many Ravelli horses do, and I don't think they're going to catch this one today. I think she's gone once she gets to the front. 9-5 on the line because there is a pretty good horse right to the inside that I think will take money as well. So I think we'll get above even money. We'll get that down a little bit from that 9-5, but I think Senora Roma, the 5 horse in race 4 at Horseshoe Indianapolis, takes this field gate to wire for Ravelli. He's always tough to bet against. Hawthorne form going to be pretty similar to that Horseshoe Indy form on the turf. So we'll see how that one shakes out. That's where I'm going because I just thought the landmines were there at Saratoga, so I didn't have a ton of confidence on anybody here. Did you look at Horseshoe Indianapolis today, Jerry?
I was waiting. That's waiting for you to ask that question. Oh yeah. I looked all through the car. I now have a reason to watch one race today at Horseshoe Indianapolis, so I appreciate that. But no, I did not look at. I'll just say this: Horseshoe Indianapolis is not a track that I tend to, look for. So
I would understand. Yeah, this horse is pretty darn consistent. She's a 5-year-old mare. She's only missed the board, I think, in there's 2 starts. She runs in the allowance ranks either on turf or dirt, and she's usually right there. And just when you look at the other speed in the race, it just doesn't tend to be a whole lot. So yeah, I thought this horse would get the job done. So there you go. You got a reason to watch. I'm happy that you're going to be watching Horseshoe Indianapolis.
Hey, but honestly, anytime you give a bet on, and I know you said you got second last time, but anytime you give a bet on one of these smaller tracks, I pay attention, and I think people should too, because honestly, I think I hold more weight to that than like when you give one for Saratoga or something, because this guy, he watches every race of all these bullshit small tracks. And so when he says Senor Roma does this, he knows because he's watched all her races. And so,
correct.
When you and I, me talking to the listeners, when you and I aren't like, we're looking, if we handicap this race, we're just looking at the form or the numbers. That's one thing. Halterman's also knows them. He sees them. And so like when he pays attention, when he gives out one for one of these, I'm like, oh, okay, well, he knows everything about that horse, so I better look at it.
That's funny you say that. I appreciate that compliment, by the way. And it's like when she wanted Hawthorne, I was like, yeah, let's see, maybe she'll show up like on the Kentucky circuit, and maybe we'll get a decent price. And then she showed up in Indiana, and it's like, well, I think she's gonna win at least. So I don't know if we'll get the price, but yeah, for sure. I will be watching Horseshoe Indianapolis, and this won't be my first time watching it.
I fully know that race is race 4 at 4:03 Eastern. It looks like.
Yep, I've cleared out my schedule. I will be available at 4:03 Eastern time. So
there you go. We got get all this done, and then we got to get ready to watch. What time? I don't know what time the Phillies game is. We got to watch that Athletics game tonight.
Yeah, the Phillies Athletics, if I don't know that I'll be able to stay awake for that one. That's going to be the problem. The Yankees play tonight. I've been watching the Yankees. Where I'm at right now, there's big Yankee fans, so we've been watching them. So maybe I'll check in on that score from the Athletics and the Angels. All right, let's wrap it up here. Let's hear the picks. Jared's going Athletics and the Angels under 7, so let's hope for not a lot of runs there. Papa Dude taking Philadelphia plus the 120. Likes the pitching matchup. You mentioned you kind of thought about this one as well, so we'll see how that one fares. He has not been hot here lately, but we'll see how that one goes. I'm going to go to Horseshoe Indianapolis, race number 4. I like the number 5, Senora Roma, and Somich is going to go to Saratoga, race 7. He likes the number 3, a Tiergan at 8-5. So we'll see if we can get 4 of these home. Drinks. All right, Marla. That's what we needed today. Listen, Marla, I'm on my phone doing this. My internet will barely work here. I need that $50. I might just contribute it to the internet fund here. That could be what I do.
You on top of that, I don't know if people listening like that. You have like this little like every time you talk, it's like it crackles a little bit, and so I'm like, I would, it's fitting for what your situation is. But so that I would say the drinks. I'm drinking coffee. I would love to switch to drinks now that we have that $50 from Marla. Thank you. But you need it more than I do.
Yes, that's right. Marla. If you laugh or cry, one of the two, Marla. So
are you ready to come home?
Yeah. Yeah, because of the internet for sure. The good news is I think I will go. I may go to the Starbucks parking lot tomorrow. So the show is decent. And then I think I'll be at Saratoga and might have some hotel internet. So, I mean, there could be, at the end could be near for this. But for now, this is the setup. I'm glad to hear I'm crackling. That's great.
I'm going to tell you on that one, buddy.
Well, it's because I'm on a phone doing StreamYard.
Well, that's why you need to get better internet, or you need to get a better place to stay so you have internet.
Yeah.
We determined yesterday that my internet at home was about 570 times better than the internet you're using. So
correct.
Yeah, he is dedicated, Marla. I will give him that. The Starbucks parking lot, I kind of put my head on I was like, really? I mean, this guy, dedication is one word, crazy is another. I mean, just the guys walking next to him, this guy's doing a show. I mean, hey,
the sound was great and the stream was perfect. So
yeah, you should do one with Heather driving and you're the passenger, so that way you kind of have you're moving the whole time. That'd be fun.
That could be fun, but I have a feeling the idea of I need internet would not work if I was driving.
Yeah, you can't depend on your phone either, I'm guessing. So
no, I could drive around the Starbucks. Maybe I could do that.
You should do it in Starbucks next time.
I thought about it, but yeah, you really can't beat Starbucks. That's true. I did think about that. All right. Well, listen, I could go out at any time, so we better end the show, or I'm going to go out of here.
He has on borrowed time with the internet situation. All right.
Well, I did an hour and 19 minutes with my dad last night on the Dudes show, the Dudes Who Bet sports show. And about the hour mark, I said, look, I love that you're going deep diving into these Pac-12 teams and how many games they're going to win this year, but we're on borrowed time. You got to speed it up. So
move it along, son.
Thankfully, we got through it. So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. There's going to be a shit ton of content. So just if you're sad that we're leaving, don't worry. There'll be a ton of stuff coming out in the next few days. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Marla, especially. And we will see you tomorrow for Dudes Who Bet Daily.